New subscribers.
Woo, let's go.
All right, Drew Aaronfield.
LDTV. That's like we have our TV station.
Cynthia Fablia.
Hajenk 1699.
George Thompson.
Chris's Paraubics Explorations.
Oh my God, he goes by CPE. Humbert Hardenberg.
Matthew Bennett.
Abscestic.
Nancy Sanchez.
Olivia Tuvela.
I had one of those removed.
Yeah, I did too. The dentist takes care of that abscestic.
Natakazo Betsy.
Buzz 27.
Betsy.
Wait, Buzz 2753. No. I'm sorry, 251. I apologize.
Laurie Smith.
That was mine. Zaza Laurette. We'll be right back.
We forgot Daniel Rader then.
No, we didn't.
Good to see you, Daniel.
Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up.
Where we wake up. I'm Pastor Jason.
I'm Pastor Scott.
And
they're looking good.
Yeah, you are.
Today we're going to be in Matthew 5:16. What an incredible message you have. But today is Comic Wednesday and my 26th wedding anniversary.
No way.
You are the love of my life. Well, you're not. But Holly, you're the love of my life.
Congratulations. And tonight's the marriage event. So that, wow, on your anniversry is the marriage event.
Who plans that?
How cool is that?
I don't know if that's cool.
That's what you guys wanted to do.
Yeah. Holly's like, what? I'm like,
dinner,
what do you want to do?
A show? Forget it. I want to work that night.
She's like, I want to teach.
But when you sell, you reap. So you're going to win.
I don't know.
No, you do.
We'll find out tomorrow.
It's biblical.
I don't think there's a win.
Comic Wednesday.
Comic Wednesday. Carmo Ninja says, say Eklo.
Oh, that's German for squirrel.
Of course.
Yeah.
Jason
you said it perfectly.
It sounds like
Did you live in Germany?
I know quite a German.
Okay.
You just got to have a lot of...
Suwana Prentice said, processing I am. Processing I am. That's my Yoda. Was it horrible? It was horrible, wasn't
Eric Dykes, another word. Did we ask for words? He said defenestrate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Defenestrate.
Yeah,
that's when you throw somebody out.
Is it? I thought it was when you have a really bad chili. And the next day you defenestrate.
No, that's
not it? Okay.
Brian K. Looper said Goliath wore David pajamas.
That's my favorite. But they had little sheep on them.
Had little sheep.
James Ebley, good morning from South Texas oil fields. Say hi to J.R. Ewing. And
who killed J.R.?
I don't know.
Wasn't that the J.R. Ewing?
That was the big one.
The 80s.
Yeah,
I wasn't allowed to watch the show, but I remember all the promo when I was a little kid.
Who shot J.R.?
Linda Milmu said she had heard this message on tithing that we taught about last week, and then her pastor at her church spoke on tithing, but she was already ready. She brought her tithes, and she said that before the end of the service, she'd already received a message that she hadn't read, but when she read it, it was a new client, and it was enough money to bring her back 200% of what she had just given the Lord.
And then but she said she tested.
She did.
She goes, bring it, God. I love that.
Linda, that's an awesome testimony.
Right.
Thank you for sharing that.
Stormtrooper Babe, she was saying that, Scott, I think the song that you're talking about was Baby Got Back. No, that's a Chili song.
It's Baby Got Vat.
Yeah, but I don't know what she's talking about. My baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
Oh,
baby back,
that
baby
song.
back. Chili.
That was a big hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that song on TV. Susan Guest wrote, fun fact, potato chips are bagged with air in them so that when they are shipped, they do not get crushed from the different altitudes before reaching their destination. And you know why else they bag them with air in them? So they don't have to give you as much. And then they tell us.
They have a board and they're like, so what are we going to tell everybody? The air.
Put them in a box then, guys.
And Enron was just trying to make their employees money.
They were, Enron, that's all they were doing.
They were just trying to make money for the employees.
Exxon was just trying to make the ocean a little smoother for the fish to swim through.
Fish can
just put some oil out there to help them glide through it. It was all a positive thing, really.
Oh my God, I don't even know what to do with this.
All right, that's all I got. There's tons of comments.
We got so many. Thank you for your comments. Keep saying them. Let's get to Jason's message. All right, so here.
Go.
And I don't know if I've ever heard it preached like this, taught like this. And I loved your beginning, too, where you were just talking about everything has a place. Like in your house, your wife is always the one. She knows where everything goes.
Yeah, where'd it go?
But the garage.
It's mine.
That's yours. And my wife would come out the garage. She's like, why is that there? I go, because that's where I want it.
I'll intentionally put things in the wrong place just to bother her.
I would too.
Yeah. Why would you put the hammer there? Because that's where I want it.
But there's a sleeping bag
That's
just
where it
hanging
goes.
from there. Yeah.
That's right.
That's what the pros do.
That's right. It keeps the dust off my tools.
But men go farther. I don't know why women don't do this, where we spray paint, and so that when you move a hammer, then there's an imprint. Like women don't do that with a cup, like in the cupboard.
Spray paint. That's where the cups go.
That's where the cup is. Yeah, just follow the
Jesus
outline.
had a place for the cross.
Yeah.
He has his spot, and this is where the cross goes. And I love having the cross in the church. I love having the cross just outside the church. But Jesus gave us the actual blueprint of where he wants the cross.
You have to watch it, because the way you did Jesus, because you did a Jesus, you're like, hey, check out our cross. We got it in the church. He's like, oh, that's cool. That's not where I'd put it.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh.
He was really nice about it. He's like,
nice.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that you have a cross there. That's just not where I would put it.
Where would you put it? I got one out front.
Deep into the enemy's territory.
Right.
And so we're going to go to Matthew chapter 5 today. Let's read it.
Let your light so shine before men. And the word "so" is a great one to underline there. So, like it's like not just a little light. It's like brilliant, like loud.
Yeah.
So shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. And once again, we go back to the word glory means to make God look bigger. So when I take me out into the world, right? Sometimes, and I saw this, we saw this sometimes, they were 7 days a week in the house.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's the worst thing in the world.
No, sometimes we need the intensive care. We need to get back on our feet. But there has to be a point in our lives where we come in the one day, and then like Jesus, we go out the other 6 days, and we shine that light.
Right, and we be that light. And I remember hearing a testimony growing up, and even as a kid, I went, well, a guy got up, and he's like, yeah, they were cursing down at the work, and so I just quit. You know, I'm not, and I went, and even as a kid, I went, well, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they curse at public school.
That's why I was going.
I went to Gilbert High School.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you,
even the teachers
get heard a lot more cussing at Gilbert High School than you could in any rated R movie.
All day long. My God, you couldn't walk anywhere down the thing.
But you want to take the light deep into the enemy territory, and that light is God working in you. So here, the scripture uses the word, let them see your good works.
Right.
When Jesus talked about the good works, and I read this in the sermon out of this blind man, and then the disciples said, why is he blind? And he said, well, you're about to see God's work in his life. It wasn't about sin. It wasn't about the parents. Everybody always wants to know why bad things happen to people. And Jesus is like, look, it's none of that. But you're about to see God work.
Right.
And then he says, and I'm doing the work of God. So right after that, and I didn't cover this in the message, but we need to recognize this, that we're doing the works of God, or we have access to that same power. So when Jesus said, let people see your good works, he's saying, you do the works of God so that God's work is showing and there's a display of glory in your life.
Wow.
That people will see you and go, how'd you get that? Well, how'd you get healed? What happened to you? I thought you had rheumatoid arthritis.
Right.
And my mom goes, oh yeah, I did have rheumatoid arthritis. What happened? I thought that was incurable.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus healed me. And when we have these testimonies, we have to recognize that God's working in us to give glory, to show glory, that we become the display of his glory. So what we really become is a storyteller. The light on the hill is that I'm in a dark place. I'm in my neighborhood. I'm in my workplace. I'm among my family. And maybe I'm around a lot of unbelievers.
Right.
But I've got a cross. But my cross isn't a burden. It's a victory. What God did in my life. And I become a storyteller because the light is, hey, look what God did for me.
You're a conduit.
Nobody can argue with that, too.
You're a conduit of power. So God's power works in and through me. So you have favor in the office. And so, Joe's like, so how come you're making all the good sales? And you say, I don't know, just kind of doing my thing.
Or you might be like, I read this really great book, and I do these 10 things that I do, and you start to give yourself credit.
Or you give God the glory. And you go, you know what? God just seems to bless me. And I do that everywhere that I go. I don't care if I go to Filiberto's and they're like, oh, we're out of. Then the lady goes, because I want a carne asada. She's like, we just ran out of carne. And she's like, so we don't get any until tomorrow. So there was no carne or asada. They were out of a carne and asada.
Oh, no.
So then all of a sudden she goes, wait, hold on. Oh, wow. Okay, we just found some carne. And I go, that's because God loves me. She goes, what? I go, God loves me. God found a way for me to have my carne asada salad. He was thinking before the beginning of time about my salad. Give God the glory. We got to pray over the day. We'll continue on this.
Yeah, and know this, that God wants to give you a great victory in your life. The reason that he brings that amazing touch into your life is because he's going to save some souls through the light he's going to shine on your life. He's going to elevate you. He's going to bring a victory to you. God has good things in mind for you. He's going to turn a tough situation even today. You might be facing a tough thing today. He's going to turn it around into a right situation. And when he does that, that's the cross he's laying on you. It's a victory that's prominently displaying the glory of God. You just become a storyteller of all the good things that God has done for you. Today, I ought to be planning that when I see the victory that God has for me, I'm going to tell the story. Father God, I just thank you, Lord, for everyone that's watching this, that you have victory in mind for us. You're elevating us. You have favor that is unexplainable. You have blessing. You have miracles to work out in our lives. It doesn't matter what the doctor report has said. It matters what you said. We thank you, Lord, that as you do that, we become great storytellers of all that you've given us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Watch this clip.
We're going to talk about Jesus on the greatest day of the display of an explosion of love that the world has ever seen. The day that he marched that cross outside of the city. And so we're going to look at the scripture. It says in Luke chapter 23 and verse 26, now as they led him away, where were they leading him? They were leading him out of the city of Jerusalem. The city of Jerusalem represents the church. It actually means gathering of peace. God's house is meant to be a gathering of peace, a safe place, a place of rest and sanctuary. You come to God's house, it's not one more thing to do. It's a gathering of peace where Jesus, he himself is our peace. We get restored. You come into this house, you could just be yourself. You could take your shoes off. I mean, please, unless your feet smell, leave them on. And then you can put your feet up and you can rest. It's not one more thing to do. It's a place where you take your armor off and get recharged. But Jesus walked out. Leviticus chapter 4 talks about the sin offering, and Jesus is our sin offering. He's many things to us. He's not just a sin offering, but that's one of the things he is to us. The book of Hebrews describes Jesus as our sin offering. And Leviticus chapter 4 talks about what to do with the sin offering. The sin offering, they would sacrifice a bull just outside the entrance to the tent of meeting, to the tabernacle. Just outside the entrance of church is where that sacrifice would take place. But Jesus, that's not where his sacrifice took place. The metaphor of the Passover lamb, which Jesus was, that would be sacrificed in the homes of the families. But he skipped that metaphor too. Jesus was making a declaration. He was preaching a message that day about where the cross goes. It's interesting too because he didn't say a word. Jesus was a lamb led to the slaughter in silence. He didn't speak. I imagine he needed to not speak because if he had said anything, it would have started moving heaven and earth. The angels would have started doing anything he said. Hey, stop that. You know, he's Jesus. He's got to be careful not to talk during the crucifixion because he might accidentally change something. So he's quiet. And yet, in his silence, he maybe proclaimed one of the loudest messages we'll ever hear. Where the cross goes. He didn't do it. He wasn't crucified right in front of the house of God, right in front of the tabernacle. He wasn't crucified even in the city, in that picture of the church. No, he walked outside of the city. He went a long distance, and he put the cross up on a hill, in a dark place, out among the people. It was as if he was saying something to the whole world. This isn't just reserved for them. This is for everyone. Anyone who will look upon this cross and believe can be redeemed of all their sins. He went right out into the middle of the kingdom of darkness, deep into the enemy territory, and he said, this is where my cross goes. I want it out here. And I imagine if Jesus were standing here today, which he is, and we were to have a conversation, hey, Jesus, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? That's how me and Jesus talk. I'd say, hey, check out the cross. You like that? He'd go, oh, I do. I like the cross. I love this. I'm in love with my bride. I love the church. I love where you put the cross. It's not where I would put it. Oh, well, that's fine because we have another one right outside our doors. You drive by, you can see the cross from a long distance away. It's tall and it's proud and it's showing people. Right out front of our church, he'd say, I like that cross too. I do. I love the church. I think it's beautiful. I'm glad you put it there. It's not where I would put it. And I might say to Jesus, well, where would you put it? Deep into your city, I would put it. Deep among the lost. I would put it deep out there. My cross is a message that belongs to the people who are broken. Where do you take healing to the sick? Where do you take brokenness to the abandoned and the rejected? Where do you take the love of God to those who have been forsaken? Where do you take prosperity? Out into the poor, into the highways and the byways, even the hedges, Jesus said, and compel them to come in my house. I need you to go out there.
Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Get it out there. Put it on your social media.
That's right.
And marriage event tonight.
Yeah, go to livingwordevents.com and you can find a location near you. There's 4 locations around the valley. If you don't live in Arizona, then we have fly in, drive in, hurry.
And I know your message is great.
Tonight.
Mine's a whole lot about stop the crazy.
Stop the crazy.
Stop the crazy.
I love it.